Hey YouTubers, long time no hear, no see. Thought I'd make a video while I'm waiting on my valve lapper tool to recharge. Thought I had that battery fully charged, but apparently I was incorrect. So, getting these heads cleaned up the chambers because I had a little bit of stuck. Every once in a while, you'll wash a set of heads. I've washed these heads 3 times. Plus, Nolan cylinder heads ran it through their cabinet. And you'll have little deep embedded carbon down in little areas that just, they refuse to come clean. So basically, I just have a really small wire brush that I chuck up in my my valve lapping machine. And I'll put a sacrificial valve in to protect my seats. And then I'll go around this chamber and dig out any of that stupid stuff that doesn't want to come out on its own, because I'm not going to send a set of heads out that has stupid carbon down in the chambers, because that just looks unprofessional and unkept. But I was lapping in the valves on these heads so I can do a final cleanup on them, get them assembled, and get them delivered tomorrow. And then I was like, well, gosh dang, I've almost made a video several times, and I don't know, I just haven't been able to make videos here lately. I don't know why. I apologize for that. There has been a lot of personal stuff going on in my life, but I'm not going to use that as an excuse. But I haven't been making very many videos, but I have been busy. Have been working on cylinder heads, have not been working on the Blazer. But something I wanted to talk to you guys about is on these specifically, we're just going to kind of focus on the LS, especially the cathedral ports, because that seems to be the bulk of my work here lately. The seats that they use in these heads are so ungodly hard that unless you have a physical part failure, like a piston hitting a valve, something goes through the valve, where you physically damage these seats, 9 times out of 10 or 99.44% of the time, you're going to be able to lap your valves in and make them seal without a valve job, okay? I know from experience, a lot of old timers and a lot of people that work in machine shops, they'll freaking poop their pants when someone says that, but I can tell you from experience, we have not only lapped in used valves on used seats without a valve job with great success. We've even had issues where, sometimes, and let me show you, this is an intake valve that's been faced, okay? Hopefully you guys can see that. I may have to get more light on it. That sucks. All right. But see that shiny area? That is your sealing angle, okay? Sometimes on these LS heads, this valve will wear and this edge will get so sharp that it'll be like a knife edge. I mean, it'll literally, if you push your thumb on it and go like that, it'll cut you. I don't know why they're like that, but I've had a couple of them run across where we literally took another 2-inch valve from a completely different used cylinder head, put it in, lapped it in, and guess what? It sealed. It passed a light check, a fluid check, and a vacuum check. Sealed perfectly. Okay, now I'm not saying that it's not always a good bet or a good idea to get a fresh valve job when you go into your cylinder heads. I'm just saying, as long as you don't have any physical damage to your seat itself, and this, let's say, because this is what I've started as my go-to policy now. I take all the used valves, I chuck them up in my drill press, and I clean the living crap out of them. I get everything off of them that I can, then I will take these in to Nolan Cylinder Head in Kansas City, Missouri, and I will have him reface all my valves. Okay? Now in the beginning, I used to literally just clean up these valves and lap them in sloppy style. And as long as they sealed with fluid, and you know, we sent it. Boom, we're ready to run. I have since upgraded my theology and want to make sure no one has any problems. So not only do I lap them in, I take every valve I remove from a cylinder head down to Nolan's, and I have them all refaced with a fresh angle. Okay? Now, some people are going, well, if you could do that to this, how come you don't have to do it here? Here's the reason. This valve isn't near as hard as that seat. So whatever wear you might get on an intake valve, you have way less on your seat because it's made out of material that's that doggone hard. On the exhaust seats, the biggest thing you're going to run into is rust. Okay? I don't have any stock unfaced valves sitting here. Let me see if I can show you a reflectiones. But if you can see that shiny new surface? That's a brand new sealing angle, okay? The biggest problem you're gonna come across when you disassemble these heads, I don't care what kind of fuel you've been running, I don't care how many miles it's got on it, these stupid exhaust valves get pitted really bad. And I mean, I have cleaned them up. I've had some and I'm talking years ago, 5+ years ago, where they were pitted so bad, I couldn't get them to seal like I wanted. I literally used to chuck them up in a drill press and use a stone, just a pink, super fine grinding stone that had a flat side. And I'd literally touch up that sealing angle while it was spinning in a drill press and get that damn valve to seal, okay? Am I saying that's the greatest way to do it? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there's always more than one way to skin a cat, so don't get sucked into people that tell you you have to do it this way. If you pull those valves out, you have to have a valve job. That's not always true, guys. I'm not trying to shoot anybody's business down because everybody's got to make money and everybody's got to pay their employees. You know, it all goes from there. But most of the time, unless, like I said, you have physical damage to a seat or a physical damage to a valve, you can clean these up and lap them and get them to seal just fine. Okay? I've done it. I'm not even going to get into all that. But I'm just telling you, you can clean up these valves and lap them in. Now, if you have access to a machine shop or a valve grinder, putting a nice fresh surface on there, boom, you're way ahead of the game. Let me tell you right here and right now, we have even had an issue where we had to go buy new intake valves on a set of, let me think about it, 243 cylinder heads. Had that weird problem I was telling you about where the edge of a bunch of the intake valves were literally worn. It was almost like it had worn and made it like sharp where you could cut paper with it. And I was like, man, I really don't like that. Let's go buy some brand new 2-inch drop-in replacement valves and let's just see if they'll seal. You know, I mean, hell, if worst case scenario, we're gonna have to drop 300 bones or 320 bucks or whatever and go get a valve job. Those things are seated perfectly, which is a testament to what I've been trying to tell people all this time. These seats are so doggone hard that as long as you don't physically damage them, you can clean up this valve or buy a brand new valve, because guess what? That sealing angle and that angle are the same. Okay, guys? It's not rocket science. If you have two flat metal surfaces sitting at the same angle, they're going to seal. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna back up machine shops a little bit. Older style cylinder heads, old school small block Chevy, small block Ford, Mopar, whatever, the really old crap that had integrated seats, which means the seats are no harder than the stupid cast iron head, they wore out really fast. Under 100,000 miles, you started getting sunken valves, you started, you know, there was a lot of issues with older cylinder heads, guys. So that carryover, and we're just going to call it a rule of thumb, that carryover rule of thumb about, well, you pull your valves out and you do anything to the valves or clean, you know, you need a valve job. That is 100% true if you're looking at old cylinder heads, okay? These heads right here, 50,000 mile factory heads, had excellent valve seal, no damage, had a little bit of pitting on the exhaust valves, but that doesn't bother me because I'm gonna face them all anyway, so I have nothing to, there's no skin off my back, right? I'm like, okay, whatever. So what I'm trying to make this video about is clean your valves, face them, and as long as these things ain't damaged, they're going to lap in and you're going to be ready to run. Okay? So while I was sitting here waiting for my valve lapping tool to charge, I just wanted to have this conversation with you guys about valves, seats, you know, and I don't know. I was just thinking about it driving home yesterday, and I was like, you know, heads have changed. Heads and the material, even the aluminum, of course, you know, didn't have aluminum a long time ago, except you got bow tie heads. But when you got high quality valve seats, good quality valves, because a lot of people don't realize all LS cylinder has stainless steel exhaust valves. Everybody know that? There's a tidbit of information. All LS cylinder heads have non-ferrous exhaust valves. And you're like, well, you can say that all you want. Let me clean some swarf off of here. Look at this, guys. This is a magnet. See, it sticks to this one. It won't stick to an exhaust valve. Because all the LS exhaust valves, I don't care if they're truck heads, LS1, LS6, it don't matter. They're non-ferrous. Remember that. You know, I don't know what else to say, guys. I was just trying to make a little video because I hadn't made a video in a really long time. Oh, but I got to finish lapping these two valves in, finish lapping the other head, wash them both real good. Oh, something I wanted to mention, almost forgot. When you have your head surfaced, I don't care if it's 5 thousandths, 20, 30, 40 thousandths, it doesn't matter. Once they surface this, the edges of your combustion chambers are going to be super sharp, almost like a knife edge, and some of them actually hang over, which can cause like a hot spot in your combustion chamber that can promote detonation. So what I do is I just take a small blade and very carefully chamfer all the way around this combustion chamber just to take that edge off of that chamber where they surface the head. So it's just one of those little things that you do that you don't remember to mention that could help somebody out in the future and keep them from having issues. So, you know, chamfered them chambers, cleaned up all the ugly, won't come off carbon. We'll get them all lapped in. We'll get them all assembled with the pretty dual valve spring kit, and they'll be ready to bolt on the engine and make some power. So that's where I'm at. It's, you know, Friday night. It's not late, but I'm really kind of disappointed that my battery meter was somewhat untruthful, and I ended up having to take a break stop my progress, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's where I'm at. I just wanted you guys to see, you know, what I was working on, why I think the way I do, the things I say. You know, I wish you guys could see that a little closer. It's got really good seal. I don't have enough light. Ow, let me move a little closer. Maybe that'll help. You guys can see those valves are lapping in perfect. Everything is smooth as silk. It's got nice solid seal line all the way around. That's the exhaust valve. Show you one of the intake valves. Everything is sealing perfectly. No issues, none whatsoever. These are the factory valve or seats. I did have, like I said, reface those valves. Take your time. Don't rev your, I use a drill to lap my valves, and I alternate clockwise and counterclockwise at a low to moderate drill speed. I lift the valve off the seat, pull it in with very slight pressure. I alternate that pressure every 5 to 10 seconds. I'll do it for a little while in clockwise, and then I'll do it in counterclockwise. Then I'll go back to clockwise, repeat. If you slowly lap those valves in, you're guaranteed to have a good seal, and it's going to run great. So anyway, that's my video for today. Crappy weather here in south of Kansas City. But hopefully the weather's doing better for you guys, and you guys are staying healthy. Please like, subscribe, share, hit up the comments, all that good stuff that YouTube likes you to do.